Okay, so since AJ already posted his own immediate reaction, I decided I would jump on and try my own as well. And as time-honored tradition goes along, my beautiful wife, Gwen, who only comes on the show whenever a new movie comes out, is going to join me. So you can say hi.
Hello.
And we saw the movie 2 days ago now.
Thursday night.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to get posted Saturday because it's going to be immediate. So, yeah, 2 days ago. Pretty much right on time here. 9 o'clock, so it's pretty much when the movie started, after the 45 minutes of previews that we had to endure.
Yeah, party hard on that.
That was probably the most awful part of the movie, honestly.
Agreed.
Can't believe you get tickets for $7.50 and $8.45 they finally dim the lights down and tell you to turn your cell phones off. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, initial thoughts of the movie. First and foremost, loved it.
Absolutely loved it.
This is going to be kind of spoiler heavy, I'm sure of it. See, where does it start on it? Immediately, the first thing they give you is Palpatine is just there.
Yeah, I mean, he's whatever,
Yeah, not a problem with that. Less is more. I didn't really need to understand why or how he was alive. I figured they'd either explain it to us or there'd be some type of secondary whatever that would explain it at some point. So was totally fine with that.
Snoke test tube babies.
Yeah. That was your entire backstory on Snoke for anybody that spent the past 2 years whining and complaining.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Your huge Snoke payoff was, yeah, there's 3 more of them in a bacta tank. Chilling here next to the Emperor, who's hooked up to I don't know, a person crane. I don't know what the hell you would even consider that.
Yeah, very Clive Barker-esque.
Yeah.
I dug it. It was pretty cool. Very Hellraiser.
Yeah. Let's see. After that, again, no problem with that. Let's see. I think that skipped to a typical flying scene with the Falcon, and they're bumping into things and fighting TIE fighters, and something about a spy that they had downloaded an 8-track player to R2-D2.
Yeah, they sure did. Lots of smarmy remarks. I dug it.
Yeah. Throwaway scene, but still, it was good enough. They land and they're yelling at Rey because she should be there, but she's too busy trying to lift rocks with her special gift.
I loved it. Absolutely loved that throwback. I thought that was great.
Again, no problem with any of that. Wow, where did it go after that? Jeez. Need to rewatch it already.
Yeah, it really went all over, but I'll definitely say not the ending I wanted, but absolutely the ending that the saga deserved, in my opinion.
Yeah, the entire movie kind of seemed like it was what was needed. I know on the normal show we're going to have a nice big round table, if I could talk Gwen into coming in a second time and actually converse about all of this. So no crazy internet people, with standing here. God, I don't even know where I was trying to go with that. When we said we needed it, there's a lot of people complaining already, and that's so stupid. Anyway, but it was all necessary to wrap up the saga. I felt like, all the little fan service things, Chewie in the metal, which was definitely fan service because nobody ever acknowledged it in the movies. So, I mean, that was always a fan thing with everybody going, well, why did Chewie get it? Why didn't he get anything? He's a freaking Wookiee.
That's why. What's a Wookiee going to do with the medal anyways?
Yeah, what was he going to do with it? I mean, now it holds a little more sentimental meaning, since it was Han's medal and Leia held it for God knows how long, and now Chewie has it. Luke finally raising the damn X-Wing out of the water, which he couldn't do when he was on Dagobah with Yoda.
Yeah, we had a nice big conversation about that last night. My theory on that is he wasn't strong enough to do it when he was alive, and he was finally able to do it when he became one with the Force. We had a nice big chat about that yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, either it's that, or maybe it was just that little kick in the ass of feeling whatever, that he caught the lightsaber when Rey went to go throw it into the fire, and maybe he knew that he had to convince Rey of everything, and maybe it did give him that little extra power he needed, or for all we know, he could have did it the whole damn time, and it was purposely weighted. He purposely waited on it because he knew he wasn't going to be the one to stop this. So, I mean, I know they never used the term chosen one since episode 3, but maybe he sensed something that Rey was the new chosen one, and he knew he had to just protect the X-Wing until somebody worthy came along.
That's also a possibility. Can we just talk about Rey's lineage for a minute, though? Because let me tell you, we both actually did a really good job of being as spoiler-free as we could be up to the movie.
Absolutely.
Avoided pretty much everything, short of, I want to say, the one big trailer that came out. And then we finally
watched... I think 1 or 2 TV spots, and that was it.
And then we finally watched the little preview that they gave you from the Mandalorian on Disney Plus. And that was pretty much it. No fan theories, nothing. So we really went into it with a blank slate. And when they said that Rey was Palpatine's granddaughter, could have knocked me over with a feather. I was so shocked, and I thought for sure that it was a lie. I couldn't believe it.
What's crazy is people mentioned it after episode 7 that a lot of the comic book man from The Simpsons nerds kept saying, you know what? The only other person that ever had a force or a saber lunge in their fighting technique was Palpatine. Nobody ever did that except for him. So this is saying that Rey's family lineage goes through Palpatine. You just go, nah, you're clearly an idiot. Delete your Twitter account. Be gone.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had no idea about it, but it made so much sense because I am not a Jedi person. I'm not a good guy person. I always like the villains, and I always like the bad guys, and pretty much everything that's out there and that's nerdy. And when it actually came to fruit that was the truth, I was like, wow, that makes so much sense that I like her, because she is, underneath it all, she is evil blood. So I thought it was super fitting. Not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed that her and Kylo Ren didn't have little Sith babies and rule the entire galaxy, but again, not the ending I wanted for the series, but the ending that I was going to get no matter what. That
would have been the absolute greatest ending to any Star Wars. The entire world, except for us two, would have hated it.
I know, but I would have loved every minute of it.
It would have been the absolute, hands down worst ending. Like, the whole 9 movies that have the ending of this saga go, yeah, heel turn, she's a Sith, and no more movies.
And the bad guys win. Like, honestly, I would have loved it, but I mean, it's unrealistic. I mean, Disney would never let that happen. But anyway, I thought it ended really strong. I really liked it and can't wait to go see it again, and have been trying to scheme on how to go see it again without getting a babysitter.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. God, I'm trying to process a lot here still.
Lightsaber fight scene. Probably my favorite part.
Lots of lightsaber fighting, which, after the complaints of episode 8 not having any, you can't complain. There was no shortage in episode 9, that's for sure. The choreography on it was really good, too.
Absolutely.
It worked. Yeah, because honestly, I don't know if it was supposed to portray, that Rey had no clue what she was doing in 7 and that the training went through. I mean, I'm sure that's exactly what it is, but it looked so much better than their first battle in episode 7.
Agreed. It was really elegant, honestly.
Yeah.
It was probably a good way to describe it. It was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous.
It was kind of weird how they kept doing like I guess it was a force projection that they kept seeing each other and they were able to physically fight with the lightsabers, but like Kylo had no clue where the hell Rey was at and stuff. Like that was odd.
I think it was like a soul linking thing between the two of them, since they could do that healing thing. Like, it's the same concept. They're able to connect with each other on another level. And honestly, it probably stems back to what happened in The Last Jedi, where they were talking to each other, but they weren't strong enough to turn it into another level.
Yeah, it's like
I
I even understand that, but I'm just like, okay, if Kylo were to say just decapitate Rey during that fight, what actually would have cut her head off, since himself and that saber were not in the room? So it's just like, I just thought it was a little odd how that played out. I mean, nitpicking, but
Absolutely, because I definitely didn't have that thought at all.
like I didn't until just now when I was trying to word it correctly in my head. It's just, you don't even have to decapitate. Just hit somebody and you crack them in the arm and you give them a little flesh wound and you go, how?
Well, I don't know. It's real enough when the lightsabers were hitting each other, so it's probably the same concept. Like,
yeah, I guess. Chewie. That whole thing, other than the whole capture being, again, slightly odd, that he just walked around a rock and then all of a sudden he was captured and going onto that freighter. But
I think he was hoping that by doing that he could buy Rey some more time and keep everyone else out of danger, because, I mean, nothing draws people closer or faster than a screaming Wookiee. I mean, you hear a Chewbacca scream and everybody's like, WTF, what's going on? So maybe he figured just going calmly would be the smartest route. ... I don't know. But the whole
the tug
Chewbacca's
of war.
dead. Well, dude, Chewbacca dead for like 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you. I was like, don't think that we can take Madison to go see this,
No.
my stepdaughter, because that is her favorite character and has been since she was, what, like 5?
Something like that,
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, we might not be taking her to see this one in theaters because that is going to be a hot mess.
It absolutely would have been.
But luckily the Wookiee made it, thank goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, so we covered that. We're covering the getting onto the Death Star. Because she was trying to track down the little Sith GPS device that was right by the old throne of the Emperor, where she bumped into her Sith self, which might be the best character ever.
Oh my gosh, dude, I'm dying.
in the sequel trilogy. Especially even with the crazy, like, shark teeth thing that she had going on, too.
Well, when you turn evil, you get ugly.
What could have been?
I know.
We need a spin-off. We need Star Wars fans to not be such complete a-holes all the time, so Daisy Ridley will rethink everything and decide to make another Star Wars movie.
Well, that's not going to happen.
It's not, sadly.
It's really not, but
I've said it before, and now that John and AJ aren't here to crucify me for it, I'll say it again. I hate Star Wars fans. We have ruined everything in Star Wars.
So Star Wars, the universe for Star Wars is amazing, and the fandom is amazing, but the fans suck, unfortunately. And I can say this confidently because I am a nerd of many facets. My nerddom goes pretty far and wide, and honestly, there are really not too many other fandoms where people get as nasty and as personal as Star Wars fans.
Yeah, there's no reason to dive in as deeply as some people do into this stuff. And when you get to the point that for something you're supposed to love, and you literally chase the people who are making these things happen for you, and you chase them away from their social media and all that, why would they want to come back and do more things? I don't blame them, or just Daisy at that point, for not wanting to do this stuff anymore. I don't blame her. So.
No, me neither. Okay, well, I think that is pretty good for a brief touch-up, unless there's anything else you want to hit on.
Big space battle at the end. It kind of... The whole thing with Rey being a Palpatine really, I thought, sped up the process of making the whole thing make sense of Palpatine trying to turn her Sith, because I don't think it would have made much sense if she was just random Jedi.
No, I agree.
Because we've seen throughout all these years, we've seen Sith get struck down before, and it's not like the Sith soul travels into whoever. Technically, Darth Maul technically was not a Sith, and he technically didn't die.
You got that.
Luke didn't. I mean, he turned into a curmudgeon, but he sure as hell didn't take the soul of his father.
Yeah. When
that ended.
It also would have been harder to explain how she was so torn, and JJ really had to stick with what was done in The Last Jedi, and the fact that when she did start doing training with Luke, she went straight to the dark side. It just explains that. So, the fact that she has it running through her veins, literally, it's part of her whole being, really helped speed up the process. You're right. It really wouldn't have made sense because just Joe Schmo from Jakku, you don't have any ties to it, but having ties to it makes it even harder to resist it, especially when you're seeing visions of it.
I will say, with the whole strike me down because I have all the Sith in me and it will transfer to you during all that, since we had already been seeing a turn in Kylo is pretty much turning back into Ben. I really thought as he was battling his way there that he was just going to come in and strike down Palpatine and kind of eat that, to save Rey, kind of, sort of. But at the same point, I knew that was not right, because that again would have opened the door to needing another movie past this. If Kylo would have came in, apologized to Rey, I really am Ben, blah blah blah, but I'm doing this to save you, and he strikes down Palpatine, sucks in all the Sith and turns into a Sith. Now you're like, okay, well, we know we're not getting any more movies, so this is awful now. So it worked. It definitely worked.
That kiss at the end, though. Let me tell you, I was sitting there hitting poor Steve like, come on. And when she kissed him, I was so freaking overjoyed. I was so excited. And then he went and died. And I'm not going to lie, my heart broke a little bit. But it was a great way to finish it off, because he became one with the Force with his mom. And I thought that was a really great ending.
Again,
honestly.
Another surprise thing. I really thought that we were going to get the Force ghosts.
I did too,
at the
honestly.
end.
I really did, but
Like
you know
before
what?
she really like walked off into the sunset, I thought you were gonna get like a
All of them.
Leia, not even that, maybe just even Leia and Ben with each other watching Rey go, or hell, even just seeing Ben next to his mom would have been pretty cool, even if they weren't even paying attention to Rey. They would have had to have paid attention to Rey, otherwise, what the hell are they force projecting themselves out there for?
Yeah.
But super symbolic at the end that she went back to Luke's home on the old moisture farm and buried the sabers together of Luke and Leia's hilts.
Yeah, I love that. And that yellow saber, oh my gosh. I so wish that we were going to get something else. I'd love to know about that.
That's my least favorite part of the movie, because I feel like that was such a tease that we see what could be, and you know that it's just not going to be, and that's, I would say, annoying to me as a fault, I guess. That as soon as she cracked that lightsaber, I even thought to myself, that's cool. I could tell by the hilt that that's clearly a Darth Maul hilt, so you know it's a bow staff, and you go, but we're never going to see it. Like, other than possibly buying a Black Series version of it to hang on your wall.
Right.
You know, you're not going to get Rey's hilt. You know, you're not going to see it in anything. Maybe the Rian Johnson trilogy, let's just say it's another 50 years down the road and somebody finds a black double-sided hilt, you know, we're going to go, oh yeah, that's Rey's. But we're not going to know anything. Even if they tell stories about it, you're not going to know anything about it. And you're just, even if they tell you a story and it's good, you're going to be mad that you didn't get to see it. So,
yeah.
And then she walks off into the sunset with BB-8.
Yeah, sorry, Poe. Peace. I'm taking your droid.
Well, Poe's got R2 now, so.
Well, and he's got Finn, right?
Eh.
Oh, speaking of Finn.
And he's the general. Both of them are generals.
Right. Well, speaking of Finn, let me tell you, it would have killed me if he would have confessed his feelings for Rey in the movie. And I'm so happy that they kind of put a stop to that. Rey was clearly not interested, and really it just would have been, it kind of would have like crushed my heart a little bit, because he would have got pretty heartbroken.
But is the thing that he said that I need to tell Rey something, was it I'm in love with you, or based on how he was acting, is Finn force sensitive? Because yeah, he just guessing? Was he luckily guessing at some of these things? But like, he felt that Rey had died before Ben had healed her. So is this how we continue this?
You could.
Because, I mean, Daisy Ridley said she's not doing anymore, and the Skywalker saga is done, and she professed herself to be a Skywalker on the way out the door. But I've never heard anything of them mentioning that Finn and Poe cannot be in these movies going forward, and name drop Rey because she's off in God knows where now, but they just continue their thing. Is Finn force sensitive? Possibly, just maybe a little bit, kind of, sort of.
I guess it's a possibility. I think we need to watch it again and look at it with that.
Yeah. But yeah, all in all, space battles, cool. We complained about not having them in some other movies, at least not a lot of space movies, fighting, lightsaber battles, fan service. I honestly, unless you're nitpicking the entire thing to death, I can't see any issues with this movie whatsoever.
Aside from me not getting the ending I wanted, no, and again, not the ending I wanted, but the ending the saga needed. I thought it was fabulous. I absolutely enjoyed every minute of it. I laughed. I got a little teary-eyed. Didn't cry, but I did get teary-eyed. I just went in and seriously got to escape real life for a couple hours and enjoy every minute of it. So,
and I feel like that's what you're supposed to do
Yeah.
All these people that really want to dive into this, like, again, we'll get into this later, but the people that I saw on Twitter today that are saying that the whole sequel trilogy was doing nothing but showcasing battered women and stuff like that, like just stupid things that you just, you can't complain that. You would have complained if it was another guy that was a Jedi, aka the new video game that came out. People are like, "Oh God, another man, another male Jedi." So they give you a female one, and then she gets into fights, and you go, "Well, now you're showcasing beating women." And it's like, so what were you supposed to do? Were you supposed to introduce Rey and then have her life be completely perfect and just walk on water like Jesus Christ, all the way to the end of the saga and never endure anything wrong with her, and be a lesbian at the end of it too? Because you gotta cross all the bridges.
I don't know. I don't want to say I don't believe in that stuff. I do believe in positive feminism to a point, but yeah, everybody pick and chooses what they like, what they don't like, and people are going to find stuff wrong with pretty much everything. You can't make everyone happy. It's impossible. Yeah. So, you know what? I thought it was awesome to have a really badass female Jedi. I think she went through a lot of hardships, and she really turned it around and really flipping owned it. And I'm sorry if you don't see it that way, because your life must be pretty miserable. Yeah,
it's a movie. Sit down and enjoy it and stop trying to nitpick the things to death. We have many years to pick this movie apart and many, many viewings, and doing it just at least that first viewing, just sit back and enjoy it. Realize that you're sitting in a movie theater watching Star Wars. God knows, I mean, we're looking at over 1,000 days now, minimum, till the next one comes out. Just suspend reality for 2.5 hours and enjoy your life and just watch the movie, and you're not going to be disappointed in this at all.
And if you are, go find another podcast to listen to.
That's true. You just drove our listenership down to 22, Gwen.
Sorry. Bye, Felicia.
We're going to send that to AJ, because we have the I Am Listener 23 t-shirt. Now we're going to have another one that says Listener 22 by Felicia. That's what we do around here. Go see the movie. It's great.
Go see it multiple times. We want more.
Multiple times. Again, AJ's show that he did immediately after the movie is already out. Check YouTube and Spreaker. I don't know if he uploaded it everywhere. I know this one is going to go YouTube and Spreaker. There's going to be a link on Twitter for it, so there's ways to find it. I don't know if JT is going to do his own personal one, or...
He's supposed to.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I know, he's a slacker.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I can say that, and he can't yell at me.
Oh, yeah, because he's not going
to... He's not going to listen to it.
And he's not going to listen to this. So.
You're right.
So, yeah, he might do one. Otherwise, we will do the big round table thing. It'll be after the first of the year. So, since this is coming out, well, it's going to be immediate on Saturday night. Merry Christmas, whatever holiday you may want to celebrate. Happy New Year.
Be safe out there.
Absolutely. And chances are better than not, we're going to be 2 weeks out from a big roundtable discussion about this. So if you're listening to this, or AJ's and possibly JT's, I'm sure we're just going to rehash a lot of stuff. But instead, we're going to be able to bounce them off of each other and get. I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is. Get
reactions from each other, nitpick each other, harass each other. I don't know.
Maybe we'll find some things. Maybe we'll make each other hate the movie by the time we're all done with this.
Well, that's not going to happen for me, but
you never
one
know.
of y'all might flip.
You never know. Maybe somebody will explain something. You're going to see it in a totally different light now, and you're going to get mad that you don't like the movie now.
No, I already didn't get my ending, so there's nothing that's going to change my mind. But anyways, Thanks for listening to us ramble, us old married people.
Yeah. It's 9:30 at night. It's time for bed.
No, it's time for Star Wars and then bed.
Absolutely. So thank you for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
Good night.